Today, again, we are meeting in a wonderful atmosphere this time, having wonderful sunshine, greenery, nice weather, and my wonderful friends who are very, very cohesive and attentive. We have taken some poetries of Sri Aurobindo, small poetry. This time, today, we shall be having some musings, some fragrance of Sri Aurobindo's very famous small poem, that is Electron. I call it Sri Aurobindo as a supreme physics. Sri Aurobindo's supreme physics, Electron. Normally one would say that the poet and electron, poet and metaphysics and the physics and all these things is something unrelated or something the subjects are poles apart. It's not so. Sri Aurobindo has taken all the subjects to the core of its theme. He has written one wonderful poem about electron. I'll read out a little bit and then we'll also have a discussion. The poet of all ages, Sri Aurobindo, has presented without reserve his divine wealth achieved through his long tapasyas and grace of God to the entire humanity. He has given us in various forms, in writings, in speech, in letters, through poetries, through unknown dimensions. He has helped these hundreds and thousands of people and disciples about him. The language has limitations. Otherwise, we would have still received vaster and brighter. What Sri Aurobindo has lived and talked to us is absolutely on surface. What he has experienced, what he has achieved in his inner world, that is yet to be found out. We may not be able to get it because the language has limitations. Otherwise, he would have given us something still better, still more. His valuable gifts for processes. You see here, it is not direct something like it is done. No, he has given processes also. Forms of matter, stages of consciousness, purpose of creation, and intensity of divine love and anand, and lot more understanding. He has given us all these things. I mean, the language is inadequate to express Sri Aurobindo's own experiences about the divine right from involution to evolution. What he has travelled during his entire life for involution and evolution, he could have given us. Language has been still the richest language, English and Sanskrit he has given us. Still, however, the experiences was so much vast that he could have given us still more. Of course, this is understandable, but where we stand, where the human common people stand in front of him, we are still dwarf in understanding even his primary teachings. We have yet to be worthy by constant surrender, devotion, aspiration, and perseverance. But we shall perform like a child. When we cannot compete, we become child, a transparent child, having more receptivity, and shall not disappoint the Lord. We become child, so every responsibility remains with the divine, who make us nurture and lift us. The Lord never gets disappointed, but I write to express this, that we shall definitely carry out as it is divine will. As I told you earlier, Sri Aurobindo has borne all the subjects in details, which the human being has thought and could not thought all throughout his history. He has touched all the subjects in details. Here Sri Aurobindo has formulated the entire classical physics in a short poem, Electron. The beauty of this poem is that each word or line represents the long, laborious experiments carried out by intelligent, genius scientists of the classical physics during the last few centuries. These scientists who have already labored throughout many, many long hours, long years, and what they have achieved, wonderfully they have achieved, wonderful, and we must note about it. And Sri Aurobindo has given in few lines. What a formula of electron. We'll go through the poem, but yes, I'm just giving you what is given the formula of electron. The unique part is that the purpose and process of electron, for human being is lucidly narrated where such field is out of present day scientist mindset. Scientist has given wonderful, but for the purpose of electron for human being is very nicely narrated by Shakespeare. Which normally scientists, present day rational scientists, would not touch because it is there out of that. This poem was written in 1938. Sri Aurobindo has kept the atomic structure in toto, and he has gone to reveal the hidden truth and actions of spinning this light particle. This spinning particle, electron, he has given the hidden truth. What actually the purpose of it? It is simply wonder, as it is direct descent of the supreme knowledge from the supreme to upon Sri Aurobindo. And the result is this short, beautiful poem, Electron. We know now that Sri Aurobindo had stopped thinking about anything. He used to get the direct revelations from the Supreme after 1926 particularly. And his pen used to go on writing perennially whatever he used to get. Otherwise, one human being cannot write this much voluminous work. For hours together he used to write. Sri Aurobindo, and the result is short, beautiful poem, Electron. Sri Aurobindo must have received truth-covered electron. Truth-covered electron. Made specially for him by the Almighty. I just thought that one electron must have been specially prepared for him by the Lord for Sri Aurobindo. He got light, he received light, and he showed light on this planet through this electron. Recently, we know about amazingly huge and costly experiment made at CERN laboratory. Experiment of Large Hadron Collider in the boundaries of France and Switzerland, I suppose, in Europe. And the findings are known to common mass in common way. Findings of this experiment is known to common mass in a common way. The term coined is God particle. As we know in newspaper and in TV, they were taken out as a God particle has been found out. God particle has been measured. God particle is existing. Like that, so many discussions and arguments and petty arguments are going on in media. This was churned, talked, discussed. It is being discussed by politicians also, philosophical sections also, and scientific section also. The journalist has made it more spicy for world gossip. As such, Sri Aurobindo had already used particle of God way back in 1938 with a true meaning way back in 38, 39, something like that. However, the enlightened team of scientists studying systematically and seriously to know the mystery hidden by analyzing the data so received from CERN laboratory. We must salute to all the present day scientists about this laborious and methodical and systematic work to find out the mysteries of this world, formation and all these things. With their wider and deeper knowledge, they are doing without any social or religious dogmas. They are absolutely faithful to the scientific knowledge, scientific truths which they are getting it. very sorry, they are very wise and open-minded. Have placed thank you. They are so open-minded that they have placed a big Nataraja statue in front of the administrative office of CERN. Nataraja is a deity in India which is normally said to be representing speed and this static and dynamic. That is Nataraja. So as we know in this particle physics, the particle has got the speed and this dynamism and static conditions, and they are unable to say something else. So that symbol Nataraja is very well placed by this scientists in front of this. That is the open-mindedness of scientists. We must salute to them. All these experiments, information received by analyzing this data are absolutely noteworthy and deserve to be complimented to all scientists. This indicates that there is a forward march of the mental evolution of the scientists, which they are able to get more and more truth with the scientific quest. So evolutionary process is going on one way or the other in all directions at every time. Now let us go through this poem as such. I laid out some beautiful lines. The electron on which forms and worlds are built. It's understandable. Leaped into being, a particle of God. It leaped into being. A spark from the eternal energy spilled. Entire manifestation is a spark to the eternal energy, some unknown energy, spark, which has been spilled. It is the infinite's blind, minute abode. In that small flaming chariot, Shiva rides. Flaming chariot, it is a electrically charged particle. They have called, Sri Aurobindo has said, it's a flaming chariot where Shiva rides. The one devised innumerably to be. His oneness is invisible forms he hides. Time's tiny temples of eternity. See, electron, this Sri Aurobindo says that time's tiny temples of eternity. Electron cannot be erased or cannot be destroyed. Somewhere it will be there. So it is. That's why it says times, tiny temples. It is small in this place of eternity. It remains. It has got this eternal life. It cannot be destroyed. Atoms and molecules in their unseen plan buttresses an edifice of strange oneness. Crystal and plant, insect and beast, and man, man on whom the world unity shall cease. It starts the evolutionary crystal, plant, insect, beast, man, widening his soul spark to an epiphany of the timeless vastness of infinity. It's timeless. Now we'll just let's have something explanation or what I have understood about these things. The poet Sri Aurobindo straight away declares without any doubt that the forms and worlds, the present day worlds which we see, which we experience, are built by the tiny electrons. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. A negatively charged electrical particle revolving around the nucleus of an atom, that we know it. This electron is in the form of apparently physical sight. According to Sri Aurobindo, is nothing but the carrier of indescribable divine light. Sri Aurobindo terms it is an indescribable divine light. Because where we get the light in this world? Physical light, we endure it. Electron must be there, photon must be there. So he says an indescribable divine light the world gets through electron. It jumps into being, it comes to us. Everywhere electron is there. As if it penetrates the aura, physic, vital and mental fields of human beings and make them vibrant entity. The electrons penetrating. Comes, remains vibrating and making it wonderful entity. The poet says very rightly, matter is God particle. And he says it's particle of God. It is not simply a matter, but something special is being carried by electron. It is not simply matter. Simply matter. It is a matter, it is not simply a matter. It carries something more. An ambassador from the divine, carrying basic stuff for the building universe. How this universe has been built? It's an ambassador from the divine to build this universe, entire universe. Sri Aurobindo must have realized in his deep meditative state or a light from the higher layers of mind about the origin of present world, eternal energy. Today scientists also say that there is an internal energy. If not God is there, the term is an eternal energy. At least that they are recognize all these quantum physicists now. Even Big Bang, before Big Bang or after Big Bang, eternal energy term has been already coined and recognized by the present day scientists, particularly physicists. And it must be considered to be the original source of manifestation. From that field only a small spark was built, and the result is present day creation. The author sometimes called as a blind, minute particle, more or less immeasurable, but carrying infinite, minute particle, but carries infinite strength. We know about the atom bomb. It contains a lot of energy. The poet firmly writes that though blind, it carries divinity. We move away. We understand it carries a lot of energy. Here it carries divinity. How wonderful feeling one gets while reading the following line. One of the lines, beautiful lines in which poetry. If we read it with interest, in that small flaming chariot, Shiva rides. Shiva, a deity in Indian mythology, Sanatana Dharma, where the Indians are much adoring. The one who always pours grace and destroys anti-divine elements. Shiva is that. Destroys anti-divine elements. That God. The Almighty's presence in the tiny particle must be realized by our Master. In this tiny particle, Shiva's presence, that Almighty's presence, divine presence, it must have been realized. That's why it is still today, electron is not fully understood by the scientists. Fully, I say. They have understood wonderfully well. I salute to them again, once again I tell, but still it's not fully understood why it behaves in wave or why it behaves particle at the time. It has decided to be innumerable. The electron has decided to be innumerable. Almighty has decided to be innumerable because Shiva writes there. As it is not destroyable. Electron is not destroyable, divine is not destroyable. And poet is delighted to term as time's tiny temples. I love this phrase for this electron, time's tiny temples, but it's eternal. But the human mind breaks in time. Sri Aurobindo, it seems, is touching quantum physics in third stanza. In the science laboratory, atoms and molecules are seen in different structures and behaviors, but still there is some enigmatic oneness. Sri Aurobindo says that beyond the observed and measured world, beyond this observed and measured world, there is a supreme field which makes them one, to which even the highest scientific mind cannot understand. Still, quantum physicists are unable to understand and completely formulate it. They say there may be, there is, we presume like that, but they are unable to measure that that supreme mind and supreme field. This mysterious bondage keeps some line of thread from crystal, plant, insect, beast and man. How this bondage is there between this? That the hidden mysterious world is keep the bondage. We do not know. We are unable to know that thing. But that must be that. That is what Sri Aurobindo says. We normally consider it to be evolution of forms, as per Darwin. But the latent divine consciousness governs this thread. Though it is hidden one, that divine consciousness governs this thread from insects onwards to man and onwards. It goes higher and higher, wider and wider, towards the supreme, leading to the vast eternity. Ultimately, our destiny is the vast eternity. Our destiny is delight only delight. The supreme is leading to the vast eternity. The electron of poet is far more energetic, stuffed with divine light. It is wonderful and symbolic presentation to convey that all forms, matter, even universes, seen and unseen, measured or not yet measured, known or yet not known, are nothing but eternal energies, small spilt, a drop of that. There is no separateness. Anything, known or unknown, measured or not measured, not yet measured, in future we may know it. All this is a drop of a spilt from the eternal energy, from the supreme divine. I presume that such thought or inspiration, the authorities at CERN Laboratory, Europe, has installed Nataraja. With this understanding, I presume that. They know there is some unity is there. We are unable to express it, unable to measure it. And that's why, as a symbol, a wonderful living symbol from India, Lord Nataraja, Shiva, that symbol has been kept in front of this science laboratory. If somebody has coined God particle, then now we can say that all are God particles, not one. At last, one has to conclude. That is, I have to conclude. Every time one has to conclude. The amazing abilities of Sri Aurobindo to present the real truth in poetic form with lyrics and dynamic powers of the words. It is nothing but the direct grace upon the readers who are open and have quest for the divine. So in simple electron, this genius, our champion of poetry, Sri Aurobindo can write, not write, but can unveil the truth which normally we are unable to see that. One tiny particle, electron, that is there. So that's the beauty of this poetry. I love that because it is based on scientific principles and scientific way or scientific entity is there and poetry. Both are clubbed together. That's wonderful. Thank you very much.